You're listening to Cross Rhythms Plymouth 96.3 FM, and I got the pleasure and privilege of being joined by someone who's just over the water across the River Tamar in Saltash. It's artist Louise Pasterfield joining us from your home studio, which is very exciting. Hi, Louise.
Hi there.
It's great to have you here. We're going to talk particularly about an event you've got coming up at St. Stephen's Church in Saltash at the end of May. It's called Colour and Courage. Before we go into that specifically, can you just introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself and yourself as an artist as well. That'd be great.
Well, I really sort of started doing art very seriously about 4 years ago. Before then, I had businesses. I had an e-learning company called Sponge, which I'd sold to a private equity company, and that freed me up to do my art. Because my original degree was in art, so I was able to go back to what I really loved doing,
Amazing.
which was painting, really. So yeah, I was a lucky opportunity to do that.
Amazing. So it's something that you do here in the Southwest, just in your home studio in Saltash. So it's kind of all local stuff for here. Your accent doesn't suggest you're from Saltash originally, though, I have to
Well,
say.
no, I came over here to study and I met my husband, and then the rest is history. So I've been here a long time.
Amazing.
But I consider it my home because I've been here a long, long time.
Amazing. Awesome. Awesome. So tell us about what sort of art is it you do then? Talk to us about your kind of work as an artist. What
Well,
sort of
there's
thing?
sort of two types, really. I mean, one is I sort of specialize in botanicals, really very large botanicals, like, 1 meter or even bigger, actually, big paintings. And they've been inspired very much by the gardens of Cornwall. So especially Isles of Scilly, Tresco Abbey Gardens. But they're not the only ones. Sometimes when I travel to the States, for example, I recently went to Tucson to the botanical gardens there, and I saw like hibiscus flowers and hummingbirds. So one of my recent paintings is one of hibiscus and hummingbirds, and these are sort of like 1.2 meter wide, really big floral. So I kind of do that really more on the business side,
Sure.
um, and that's under Louise Pasterfield Art. But what I started to do at the start of the war with the Ukraine wars, I was so kind of like shocked that it was happening and seeing all these images that were coming out that I started to paint Ukrainians. So these are civilians, soldiers, mothers, children, and I would post them up on Instagram and Facebook. And then I just started getting lots of comments. I started have people coming to me saying, "Thank you so much for your support," or "That's my son," or "Could I have a digital print of that?" And it just sort of like
Wow.
took off. And yeah, I just kept going, and I was doing like one or two paintings a week and posting them up. And sometimes people would send me images as well or send me pictures. So I just really felt I had to keep going. And this week, I mean, I've hit 295 paintings. So I've done quite a lot of paintings. So I'm nearly at 300, actually. I mean, I hope the war will end soon.
Yeah.
It's just the way that I feel that I can support them and know that they're not forgotten, really.
Yeah, yeah. That's an incredible kind of vision and heart that you've got for it. It's just all, I love hearing that. It's all just come from your heart of being so moved by their suffering, their plight, and as the name of your exhibition suggests, the courage that they're facing to do that to that extent, to put the number of hours you put into it really is quite remarkable. That's amazing to hear. So this event then, Color and Courage, it combines those two sides of the art that you do, doesn't it?
It does. So on one, so it's going to be at St. Stephen's Church, which is a beautiful church, a beautifully kind of well-lit church. And on the left-hand side are going to be my large botanicals. So there's going to be six displayed there. And on the right-hand side, I'm going to be displaying 18 original paintings of my Ukrainian paintings. And there's also we also have some Ukrainian singers coming as well, who are going to be performing, which is going to be great as well on the open evening, which is on the Thursday, the 28th at 7 o'clock. So
Mm.
yeah, and I can tell you a little bit about some of the paintings because some interesting stories behind them.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's the thing, isn't it? Because it's such a powerful reasoning for doing it. And like you say, what really stood out was when you were talking about it then, and obviously the growth it's had on social media, that's one thing. But when it's personalized and that person said to you, well, that's my son, like
yeah,
these are real people,
yeah,
real photos of real people. To
yeah.
put the art to it just kind of adds an extra layer. But there's huge stories to every person. There's the
Oh my
beauty of
gosh.
the nature and the flowers, and that's
Yeah,
that's fantastic and that's wonderful. But the depth of the human story
yeah,
with the
yeah.
Ukrainian must be remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, one of the paintings I did, in the new year was of twin boys actually, and they're sitting and they're having a drink, and they're at the bottom of the stairs. And what's happened is that they're electricity has been cut and they live on the seventh floor and they're having a drink of water before they have to climb seven flights of stairs because the lift's not working. It's all those sort of stories really. But I
Mm.
think one of the things that's going to be happening at the exhibition is going to be I'm going to be presenting Christine and Rob Perry with a portrait of their son. And he's a Cornish hero, actually. He's from just outside of Truro. He's called Chris Parry, as I mentioned. And he went out at the beginning of the Ukraine war. His parents didn't even know, and he was a volunteer. And he would go into really dangerous situations, and he
Wow.
rescued over 400 people. And he was killed in 2023 by the Wagner Group. And actually, there's a very famous award-winning TV program called Hell Jumper, all about Chris Parry. So one of the things I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be presenting his parents with a portrait, really, of one that I've done of Chris. But
Wow.
just, so I mean, this is stuff that's affecting us. It's close to home. It's not
Uh-huh.
like it's,
Yeah, yeah.
something remote. And it's poor parents. I mean, they didn't even know it was out there, and they got a phone call from the Foreign Office. It's just extraordinary. But you're such a brave person, and it's the least I can do to honor their son.
Amazing, amazing. Well, we're going to stop for some music now and pick up the conversation with Louise and give you the details of how you can be at the exhibition and the events surrounding it as well. Pick up more on those details with Louise after this. You're listening to Cross Rhythms Plymouth. Join me, second part of an interview with artist Louise Pasterfield, who is based just over the water in Saltash. She's described in that first section, which you'll be able to see on our social media and online if you've missed it. But the background of her art, there's kind of two prongs to the sort of things that you do, Louise, as you've described. One being huge painting, well, large painting certainly of botanicals and your passion for nature, for flowers and all kind of beauty there. But what's captured your heart since the Ukraine war is paintings, portraits, particularly of people who've been affected, Ukrainians who've been affected by that. So this event, Colour and Courage, combines those two things as you've described, and it's at St Stephen's Church. You'll be exhibiting those paintings and doing a number of other things as well. So tell us the dates that it's happening, the timings it's happening, and for those people who are thinking, I'd love to be there, how can they be part of this?
Well, it starts on the 28th of May, and at 7 o'clock in the evening, we're having an open evening, and we're going to be having the Ukrainian Singers of Plymouth actually performing, which is going to be lovely. But it goes on from the 28th to the 31st. The church is open from 2 to 6 every day, so you can come along and see that. It's a free event. There is also going to be an opportunity to buy postcards, and that money, or part of that money, is going to be going to the Cornwall and Devon Sending Love to Ukraine, who, the proceeds are going to go for humanitarian relief. So there's an opportunity to support Ukrainians. So yeah, I mean, we'd love to see as many people that can come.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. And those days, 28th is a Thursday, so 28th, 29th, Thursday, Friday, but then the weekend of the 30th and 31st. So if you're working, through the week, 2 till 6 on the 30th and 31st, get down there, spend some time over your weekend at St. Stephen's Church. And is any aspect of it sort of ticketed? Do people need to book? Is it just turn up? What's the situation there?
It is literally just turn up. We're just glad to see people come and visit, and I'll be there every day. And if anyone wants to chat about it or discuss anything about it, I'll be there.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think for me that would be, a huge draw because obviously it's the stories behind the art as well. Not just, I mean, your story particularly of how you've been moved to do this is huge in itself, but the stories of, what you've either learnt, I suppose, from the people behind the images or what you were told at the get-go. If it was someone who sent you something saying this person is this is their story. There's a huge amount to kind of talk about there, isn't there? And to
There
kind of
is.
engage with.
And the paintings I've selected, there are 18 of them. Every one of them has a story and a meaningful story. You can also read about it. There'll be captions. You can read about the paintings.
Amazing, amazing. Well, Louise, thank you so much for your time. We wish you all the best. Hope it goes really well. So that information again, Colour and Courage is the name of the exhibition. 28th to the 31st of May, St Stephen's Church in Saltash. The only thing I was going to say, where can people find you and your art online if they can't make that, or maybe they want to find out more about this event? Where are you posting it online?
Well, I've got two Instagram handles. I've got Louise V. Pasterfield on Instagram and Facebook. And that's really covers mostly my Ukrainian paintings. And also I've got Louise Pasterfield Art on both Instagram and Facebook for more of the botanicals. So those are the two handles really.
Amazing, amazing. Check Louise out there and get to that exhibition. Louise, thank you very much.
Thank you.